Hey fans and subscribers, this is your host Joe on the Gaming for Insight channel with another video, a quick chat. The topic, the state of the Legion Go in Q2 of 2025. Joining me is returning guest Gamers Generation. Gamers Generation, welcome to Quick Chat. This quick chat video is sponsored by COOWPS. Are you looking for a protective case for your Nintendo Switch 2 and other items? COOWPS has you covered with its protective shoulder case. Take with you what you need and more, like your Nintendo Switch 2, power bank, as well as connecting cable so you can charge on the go, Bluetooth headphones, computer, and even your other phone. Easily connect and disconnect the shoulder strap. Take this bag with you over your shoulder anywhere and everywhere with your favorite gaming items. Check the link in the description to get your hands on this smart and purpose-built case.
Hey, thanks for having me. What's good, everyone?
At CES 2025, we have new devices from Lenovo on the horizon. We have had one release and another one that is going to release two. Actually, we have variants of the Legion Go S, and we have the exciting Legion Go prototype, or the Legion Go 2. And with all this excitement, we're maybe forgetting about what got us here, which is the Legion Go OG, that handheld that released in 2023. And it's a unique handheld. It has a kickstand, which is usually an additional mod that one will install. And then the FPS mode made it unique as an option for gamers to experience their games like Cyberpunk 2077. And Gamers Generation, this is your favorite handheld from what I understand. On your channel even, you have quite a bit of content that covers what you can do with the Lenovo Legion Go. So let me just jump right in on this here. What keeps bringing you back to the Lenovo Legion Go in 2025?
Oh, you asked such a softball question, Joe. I mean, isn't it obvious? It's because it's go time every time.
Go time every time.
I mean, it's as I've said several times in a couple of my videos, and even on the podcast that we share. It's that the versatility of this device is really what drives the point home for me. It's the do-it-all type of devices, I say. So even long after it's not able to play the AAA games, I think it's still going to find some use in your home or my home.
So let's talk about the AAA games and the debate to where, do you need the more powerful APU or SoC compared to the Z1 Extreme on a gaming handheld? The Lenovo Legion Go comes with the Z1E as of 2023. And is it keeping up in 2025 compared to that of the HX370? And is frame generation and upscaling needed for it to keep up if it is?
Yeah, that's a great question, Joe. I think unfortunately, if we're talking about the absolute brand new games, like if we're looking at Doom, which I know you love, that game is that game is going to struggle on our current generation of handhelds. And as you can see, like on the Steam Deck, it's if it's even working at all, it's like a slideshow essentially. I think we're not quite there to the point where the Legion Go turns into like the current generation of Steam Deck, but the clock's ticking, and unfortunately with games not being as optimized as we'd like them to be, it's unfortunately going to find itself in kind of in between, like a rock and a hard place.
So it sounds like frame generation upscaling can only do so much for APUs, SoCs, especially as they become dated. We're 2 years here past 2023.
I think besides the points that like we had just talked about, I think there are other challenges other than like the impending, let's say the impending Z2 Extreme devices. There are already the HX370 devices that you mentioned from non-mainstream handhelds or a lot of the Chinese brands. Those devices are already here. Many of them are even on the secondary market. So I think the secondary market probably poses the most challenge. That said, we've been seeing the OG Go's price like stay pretty steady. Like it's always, even in the currently for the past 6 months or so, even in the used market, like it's still sticking around like $400 or $500, and that's actually pretty good considering like how low some devices like the ROG Ally have gone. And internally they're essentially the same product. So like besides like some minor battery differences, right? Hardware wise, they're basically the same. And so I think that the biggest challenge will actually be probably just the sheer number of devices that are out there. In order, like in a way, you could even look at the Legion Go S as potentially being its own, like its own worst enemy, so to speak. Like, I'm biased, obviously, but I think like the Go is such a great device that if you have one already, you have little to no reason to get a Go S. You're literally just waiting for a Go 2. If you have none of these devices, all of these devices might fit the bill. And so, like, you know, that's a great selection. And if you decide you really don't want Lenovo, there's still so many choices. So choice might actually be, you know, the ultimate kryptonite for this device.
Kryptonite is a great way to put it indeed. Interesting take, though, that the Legion Go S is actually adversarial for, in the market at least, for the Go, the OG Go. That is an interesting take. I'll transition to my last question for you. Has FPS mode, the first person shooter mode, has it been successful with the Legion Go? I saw at CES that it is available as a feature and it's coming to the Go prototype or the Go 2, but is that because of the success of it as a mode on the Legion Go that it's making a return here on the Go 2?
Yeah, it's another great question. Honestly, I don't have enough data to really say one way or another. I mean, I like FPS mode. I'll fully admit I don't use it as much as I would like to, and that's simply because I'm not playing like on a tabletop. I'm usually like, you know, playing on my couch. I'm playing in the car or something like that, and so, you know, that's not really an environment for FPS mode. That said, I mean, FPS mode as we know it, which I also sometimes call like RTS or strategy mode, because you can use it for those games too. I think it's, you know, a great little addition. Some people might just think it's a gimmick, and you're absolutely welcome to think so. But that's also one of the reasons that I've called it the do it all device. You know, when you look at the competitors, and you name the competitor, whichever it is, the fact that the Legion Go has a trackpad and also has FPS mode almost literally means that you don't need to carry a mouse, an additional peripheral, right? Whereas any other device, you either need to or like you want to, because, you know, navigating with the sticks is just not that comfortable, right?
Yeah, great points. And the FPS mode for me, it captivated me to actually buy the device, but I found that I did not use it as much as I thought I would. And that was due to needing to map the controls per game. So I spent time with Cyberpunk, for example, mapping those controls. And it can be the modes there can address most of the features across games, but you still need to fine tune and build from there and tweak further to have your profile per game. At least I have found within my experience.
No,
Well,
you're absolutely right about that. Yeah, despite sounding like an absolute you know, Legion Go shill, I mean, there are shortcomings. Legion Space has come, you know, a pretty decent way, but the per game profile that you mentioned is a great example of something that we still need. As my understanding is the ROG Ally with Armor Crate has something like that now, and, you know, Steam Deck with SteamOS obviously has something like that too. So yeah, I'm just hopeful that we can get more features. But as I always say, you know, if that's something that matters to you, like, you shouldn't buy something based on the promise or the hope. You should buy it for what it offers right now.
well, Gamers Generation, thanks so much for joining Quick Chat. Fans and subscribers, like and subscribe for more Quick Chat. Gamers Generation, thanks so much and take care.
Hey, thanks for having me.